Good morning, coffee moaners. Welcome to Thursday, the 29th of January. Morning, Martina McCown. Morning, Debbie Tynan. Oh God, Debbie Tynan, sorry, involved in a car accident last night. I was the passenger. I already have arthritis in my back. Now I'm even stiffer than a mother. Oh my God, you poor thing. Did you go to hospital? Have you been seen? Crikey, whiplash and all that. Crikey, look after yourself, Debbie. That's terrible. Morning, everyone. I hope you're well. Hope you enjoyed last night's How to Stay Married, me looking deeply awkward as we chatted to the author of Love Your Vulva. I don't have one. Used to have a Volvo, but I don't have one to love. But it was a fun, it was a eye-watering podcast. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, please do. I'll pop the link in here somewhere. Morning, Mistress Francis. Hurtling towards the end of the first month, and what a first month Donald Trump has made sure we've had, hey? And as we enter the end of the month, or enter February, why is February, why do they do that? Who popped the first R in February? Who says February? February. I mean, now that sounds as ridiculous too. It's a redundant R. We don't need the R in February. You enjoyed the pod. Oh, I'm pleased, everyone. Oh, now, by the way, our agent told us this. If you're listening on podcast, can you believe it? There are quite a few people who listen on podcast, which is brilliant, but didn't realize this is uploaded on YouTube. So if you're listening on podcast, we're also over on YouTube. Pump in the Sawalha-Adderleys, or if you pump in Coffee Moaning, the playlist will come up. We often say here, you can go and listen to it if you want to get on with other things and you don't want to look at our stupid faces. I think you get, it's like an IMAX experience when you watch it, whereas it's a sort of, it's a limited 16mm version when you just listen to it. But anyway, no, our agent just told us he was talking to someone about a brand, and they were like, "Oh, we didn't realize it was on the channel." Hi, Russ. I hope you're feeling well. So sorry for yours and the family's lost. Yeah, no, we are in the yeah. I mean, we talked about grief on Coffee Moaning. Was it yesterday or the day before? It's everywhere. It's shot through us. The girls are feeling it keenly. Grief for so many things going on at the moment. So yeah, thank you so much again for all your kind words. So what are we going to talk about this morning? Let's get on with the agenda. Hey, it's IMAXed here. You're on my, no, we're not on your projection system, MeTube. Are we really? I wouldn't be at all surprised if we are. I imagine you're sometimes sitting in one of those chairs that has like just levers and dials and buttons and Iron Man styly, with kind of everything on the screen. Oh, brilliant. Autism Family Macred. Morning, Mark. I hope you're well. Love watching these now in the morning. I'm so pleased. I hope you find it. I mean, we lose our shit quite a bit, and we get really angry with the nature of the world and the nature of news coverage. And we are not at all shy in sharing where our political persuasions lean. But that doesn't mean to say that we're not interested or keen on alternate views or points of view. It's just what seems to come with a far right point of view is a kind of anger and viciousness and nastiness and use of horrible language. So, it's a broad church as long as we're all just be nice. Just be nice. I mean, I wonder if we should rebrand politics to. I always remember a friend of mine at college saying something along the lines of, we were on some march, I think it was against the poll tax, and it was my friend Nick. Actually, I've mentioned him quite a few times. Nick was the one who said at Marxism 90 we were all sat there and everyone was rowing. We weren't members, but our friend was. And we were looking at each other going, God, why can't they all agree? This is never going to take off if they can't agree. How many different types of fucking Marxism are there? And then there was another time we were on a coach. God, this has come back to me vividly, heading towards a poll tax protest. That was massive. It's the one that I think it evolved the day it verged into the poll tax riots. And Nick said, why don't we just have banners that say, out, out, all bad things are out. He said, let's just have banners saying we're against bad things, but we're for good things. And I just wonder whether we should rebrand party politics now so that there's the bad party and there's the good party. Because even you know, I know a lot of reform and a lot of far right, and I know we've got reform supporters here. A lot of people on the right find progressives namby-pambies, or they call them lefty-lovies, or sandal-wearing. I mean, I call some of them vandals in sandals, but I mean, do you get what I mean? But you couldn't call them bad. They're not hateful. Yes, autism. You can't. They're not hateful. They're not horrible. They're not bad. I mean, they might be annoying to you on the right, but they're not. I mean, your problem, if you're a reform supporter, your problem with someone who's progressive is that they want to be all kumbaya and welcoming to too many people. So, I mean, call me old-fashioned, but I think it's bad to just hate people. I mean, don't get me wrong, I hate lots of people. I hate lots of people on the right. Anyway, sorry, I'm just kind of wondering whether we should rebrand the party so that, yeah, but who could call Labour good? You couldn't. This is the problem, isn't it? Wishy-washy left-wing liberals. Yeah, that's the one, Gabrielle. Was it tofu-eating, sandal-wearing, bedwetting? I mean, I have to say, I think Boris Johnson is a master of the insult of the left. It was it bedwetting, tofu-munching softies. I think that's quite funny. I'd like that on a T-shirt myself. Okay, what are we talking about? Iran's finger is on the trigger. Don't fuck with us or we'll fuck with you. Does remind me of the days when Robin, not Robbie, the singer, but Robin Williams, the stand-up comedian who tragically passed away, stood on stage at the at the Metropolitan Opera House and did that skit, didn't he? Back then, I mean, this was back in the 80s. I had a VHS copy of it. And he did that skit where he said, this is, you know, some leader in the Middle East going, this is the line of death, you cross it, we kill you. And then they cross it. And it's like, okay, this is the line of death, you cross it, we kill you. And then, you know, and okay. And the line forever moves. So Iran's finger is on the trigger of what? We don't know. We don't know if it's a big trigger, a small trigger, a nuclear trigger, a trigger aimed at what? America, Jordan, bit worrying. Parents-in-law are there. So Iran's finger's on the trigger. You know what? Not surprisingly, given that apparently I've got one of the biggest armadas in the kindergarten. I'm a preschool and my armada is so big and beautiful. It's going across the world and it's going to blow you up. I mean, he's showing off about his armada. Nicole, adverts keep us going. He shows off about his armada, doesn't he? All the bloody time. I've got such a wonderful armada. And so Iran has said, we've got our finger on the trigger. So we're going to look at that. Is war about to happen? Does Donald Trump need a massive distraction from the complete and utter clusterfuck that is Minneapolis, Minnesota, and his newly or freshly kind of armed militia killing civilians across America? Big, beautiful armada. You're absolutely right, Mistress Francis. You can be a #1 fan. We're going to be talking about Nicki Minaj. I've just started Rebs 832. Don't jump on it, Rebs. We're on it. I've got me up scrolled. And I've got a very strong opinion on up scrolled. A, it's brilliant, but B, I think also we could be running up the wrong nose tree. I think we have to be mindful of the up scroll thing, and I'll tell you why. Nicki Minaj has come out as Trump's #1 fan. #1 fan. Why, what, how? We're going to up scrolled is a Palestinian backed, supported, sympathetic alternative, social media alternative, which is brilliant. I've signed up last night, haven't posted on it yet, but I signed up last night. Do sign up to it. I'll just quickly, we'll talk about it when we get to TikTok. TikTok loses users because of what? Because it's censoring already. We told you, Netanyahu told us, Trump told us, Larry Ellison told, everyone told us. This is the weird thing with the world. Every single supporter of the Zionist Israeli regime and the Trump regime, they tell us what they're going to do. And then we all go, oh, they've done it. Like, oh, fucking hell. So they're censoring, they're controlling, they're removing, they're blocking, they're not allowing certain words, search words to be used. It's there, it's done, it's game on, we're off. And Melania Trump, Melania Trump's film titled Melania, with a budget of $75 million, allegedly 40 million for the rights, which I guess is 40 million to Melania and the White House, and 35 million for the promotion. And I think someone in the Melania PR team is possibly looking into their bowl of sugar, what are they? No, Cocoa Pops. They're probably looking into their bowl of Cocoa Pops this morning, Sugar Puffs, and going, oh, fuck, why did we say yes to this? Because by all accounts, I didn't even know this was possible. I think it's selling tickets in the one, the number of tickets it's selling is in single digits. Not a lot happens in single digits, does it? Thank you, Nicole. So I'm just going to have a sip. Ding, 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 ding. Of my coffee, because let's face it, at the end of the day, we are coffee moaning. And so I'm going to have a moan whilst drinking my coffee. So we're going to talk about that too. And lots of other little bits in between. Anyone here a fan of Nicki Minaj? I'm going to put it bluntly. All I've really ever noticed her for was her nails, her fingernails, and her bum. That's all I've ever really seen or noticed. Is it? She's not brat, is she? I don't know. I mean, what's her brand of rap? What's her thing? Because obviously stupidity is one part of it now, and craven sycophancy is a part of it at the moment. What's her biggest song? This is where you're useful. I don't. She's a big diva. Yeah, more ways than one. Art with Rachel Kashani. Thank you for saying this. We'll get back. If you could pop this in. Yeah, if you could do this again when we get back to Iran. Thank you, everyone. I was in Iran in October and the inflation is bad due to the sanctions and snapbacks. Yeah, what people don't realize is the sanctions against Iran are a form of besieging the country and hurting the population. So this fraudulent idea that America and the West want to save Iranians, it's an absolute piece of shit. They don't give a fuck. Same as Megan Thee Stallions, but not as good. Anaconda, that's it. And am I right in thinking that Anaconda, the title of the song, is a reference to something long and windy? With Nicki, as someone who appreciates rap, she was always talented and as a female MC has charted a groundbreaking path. However, her politics have always been atrocious and she doesn't support women. You're saying things like Starships, I presume that's one of her tracks, and Bang Bang, says Deborah Holsworth. That must be, is it Bang Bang? No, that's something else. Thank you, Pauline Mulvey. Pound the alarm, Russ Ouch. Pound the alarm, is that, or sound the alarm? I think Minaj was super bass. Right, okay. Well, this is odd. This is odd. Let's have a listen to her, shall we? This is Nicki Minaj announcing and apparently, I think, didn't she more recently have a lot of stuff to say about Trump and how amazing he was and how she wanted to stroke his orange forehead and just, she loves him. And she lost like 10 million followers or something, didn't she? Let's have a look at how many followers she's got. I wonder if it's going, like that odd thing when you sometimes see someone's numbers go down so fast. It's like, whoa, let's have a look. Nicki Minaj. Oh, Dylan Kardashian. Oh, no, that's not it. Maybe Nicki Minaj isn't on. Maybe she's not on. Is she not on? Has she taken down her account? Oh. I can't find her on Instagram. She seems to have gone. Okay, well, here she is.
Hello. Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. And it's gonna motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work, okay? He has a lot of force behind him, and God is protecting him. Amen.
Oh, fucking hell. I've just got visions of God sat on a cloud, rolling a great big reefer, just going, and then, what the fuck have they done in my name? What is going on down there? Who is this dude? Trump and Nicki Minaj. What's going on? I mean, it's just, what? God protect him. Bullying. Trump. Who's bullying Trump? I mean, he's controlled almost all of the mainstream media. He's now controlling as much as he possibly can of social media. Let's not forget, they've got control of, or he hasn't got control. And I'm going to keep saying it until I'm blue in the fucking face. The Israeli flag blue in the face. The Israeli Zionist regime has taken control, or is trying to take control of all social media, like they have managed to completely compromise the legacy media. So who's bullying who? Who's bullying Trump? He's bullying everyone. It's just absolute drivel. Anyway, so there she was, just announcing what a wonderful fan she is. I've got another clip here of her, and just look at all of Trump's supporters. I feel that we're very unvarnished here. Baked into the faces of a lot of those around her. We've got some shots here of her sitting in amongst the crowd, Trump's audience, going into the Oval Office to receive her gold card and all this kind of stuff. But the look on most of the white, so white they're red. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that the really kind of far right white Americans are so white they're actually red? None of them are white. They're red. Rednecks, I suppose. But I mean, maybe that's where it comes from. But you know what I mean? It's like they're so white and full of hate. Their blood stays near the surface of their skin. They're red. Anyway, the looks on their faces here, they're all like cock-a-hoop. They're like, fucking hell, who is this woman? She's of color, but she's got long nails. She's in a fur. What the hell? They don't know what's going on at all. So white, they're red.
Makes a lot of cash. Not as much as Michael Dell. Not quite. Not as much. But that's okay. But Nikki makes a lot of...
Good to see you. Great.
See, they forgot I was here now. They came in for
We
Trump.
still love you, Mr. President.
Where did that go fast? Say hello, man.
I still love you, Mr. President. What the fuck was wrong with him? I still love you, Mr. President. Just remember, guys, what kind of an American are you? I'm so white, I'm red. I'm so white and full of hate and racism, I'm red. Who is this Nicki Minaj? They're all going, well, we don't care, we don't mind. She's come in looking like a goose, waddling in with her MAGA hat on. Whee! Wow! Who is she? We're so white, we're red. It's quite something, isn't it? Danny fucking Price, one of our favorite Instagrammers. Please do follow him. I'm amazed he hasn't been taken down, actually, to be honest with you. Trump has given Nicki Minaj a gold card. There she is, sticking her tongue out. It's quite a tongue, isn't it? There we go. Nicki Minaj posted this. Where? I presume Twitter. Maybe it's probably her safest place. Welp, she says, the Trump gold card. United States of America, a gold card. Finalizing that citizen paperwork as we speak, as per my wonderful, gracious, charming president, gold Trump card free of charge. As of yet, there is no indication that Trump has moved to quash the convictions of Nicki Minaj's pedophile brother or her rapist husband, which is the suggestion that perhaps the reason she's cozying up to him is she's seeking a pardon for, well, as he says, her husband, who has been done for rape, or her brother, who is a convicted pedophile. Could be part of it. Who knows? This is the unedifying image of Donald Trump's very unbruised hand. Can you see how heavy the foundation and the cream is on his hand there? And look how long her nails are. There's something quite repulsive about this shot. But I have an influencer somewhere. Oh, here we go. I don't know what her name is, but listen to this.
No. This is hands down the most cursed image of 2026 by far. One fucking piggly ass little fingers there with his elf makeup concealer, just trying to scrub away the fact that he's months away from death. And then these nasty ass gluey press-ons, cause this bitch can't find anyone to do her nails anymore. Some last minute ordered off of Temu bullshit. The grossest combo of fingers that have ever been. This is the hand horcrux that can revive any fascist from the grave. Eva Braun and Pinochet will rise tonight.
Strong response. I mean, I only understood every other single word there. I've never really understood the whole nail thing, you know, mollusks. Are they called mollusks and shellocs and follocks and pillocks and all that sort of stuff? Don't get it. All I know is everyone around Trump is so white, they're red. I love you all so much. You're so loyal. You're so loyal. Your fear, your blood rises. I see you. I see you with your red faces. All very odd, very odd. Nicki Minaj, God knows. Well, like a lot of people are saying, is it self-interest? Is she going for some kind of pardon? Seems to be what most people sidle up to Trump just to, can you pardon? I've got this uncle. He's a bit weird. He's a bit touchy. Would you mind pardoning him? I don't mind pardoning anyone. I don't know anything I'm doing. I'll just say yes. Has he got an auto pen? Maybe. Who knows? In another breaking news clip, Kristi Noem. I just want to call her Kirsty Noem. I don't know why. I find her name really awkward. Kristi Noem. I just want to say Kirsty Noem. So I might just call her the Gnome. Let's call her Nomeo. So Nomeo was photographed or filmed holding a gun irresponsibly around ICE agents.
With Marco and Brian today. They're letting me roll with them. We're going to go out and pick up somebody who I think is got charges of human trafficking. We earlier had an op that swept up somebody who was wanted for murder. So appreciate the good work that they do every day, and we appreciate them working to make America safe.
We're going to make America safe, but she's pointing her gun towards I presume, a federal agent's head. One wrong move, and she'll take his head off. I'll just lose the awful sound there. But look, she could take Krusty Gnome. That's it, Ali Pearson. Well done. Look at that. His head comes off. That looks a little bit like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on the left. I mean, she really, okay, let's be fair to, what did you call her? Krusty Gnome. Let's be fair to the Krusty Gnome. So I have to be honest, if she, as she's standing there, presented as an action figure, it's quite a cool action figure. She'd make quite a cool action figure, but she seems to spend more time looking good than saying anything of any kind of meaning whatsoever. But she's got her finger tantalizingly close to that trigger. And I don't think the guy to our right, her left, is aware that his head is directly in the line of fire. So there you go. The Krusty Gnome called out for pointing firearm in officer's direction during recent video. Yeah, great. This is kind of edifying, unedifying, edifying, satisfying. This is Greg Bovino, the fascist at large in, hey, Peps, come here. Look, there's Pepper. Hey, come here. Come here. What's this? What's this? Yeah, check this out. This is kind of cool.
Chief, how you feeling? Here you go!
It's kind of satisfying, isn't it? Especially when you see this leaked footage of him galvanizing the morale, getting his ICE officers riled up and sending them out into battle. So he's off to court to testify about the fuck up that's happened around killing people. And here we have some footage that's been leaked of him generating some kind of rah with his crew.
Arrest as many people that touch you as you want to. Those are the general orders all the way to the top. Everybody fucking gets it if they touch you. You hear what I'm saying? Less legals. We're going to look at shipping tractor trailer loads of that shit in here. So you catch what it's all about us now. It ain't about them. Professional, legal, ethical, and moral. You know what we're talking about. Legal, ethical, moral. You're on camera. But other than that, it's what we do.
What city is it, Chief?
fucking arse is our fucking city.
What a frightening man. What a frightening man. So, yeah, frightening man. And so what you saw just before that, it was quite noisy, was Greg Bovino being taken in, walking into court to discuss the murder of American citizens. We're going to move to TikTok in a moment and Iran. I just want to play this clip. We're a big fan of Simon Marks, who's LBC's correspondent in America. He often just kind of, he has such a pithy way of summarizing things. And here's his assessment on the current situation in America.
In a softening of his position, he said last night, we're going to de-escalate a bit. We know that the strutting, swaggering Greg Bovino is no longer the commander-at-large of the Border Patrol and is believed no longer even to be in Minneapolis, so he's been demoted. But the president is circling the wagons around Kristi Noem, his Secretary of Homeland Security, Stephen Miller, his Deputy White House Chief of Staff, even J.D. Vance, who approvingly reposted a social media posting by Stephen Miller that described Alex Pretty as an assassin. He wants to divert people's attention away from Minneapolis so that he can try and bury these questions about whether he's going to fire key members of his inner circle. Kristi Noem says everything she said last weekend when she was slandering Alex Pretty, she said she was directed to say by the President of the United States and by Stephen Miller. So that's a massive problem for the White House.
Which is probably why, do you see the way in which we do segues? Which is probably why, whatever happens and whatever the situation is with Iran, all of the news flow in the mainstream legacy media in the West is only going to be geared towards trying to convince everyone here, everyone in America, that Iran is fully deserving of America smashing the shit out of it. What do you do when you've got a crisis like the one he's created domestically? You pivot abroad, you take out another country, you raise the bar, you flood the zone, you distract, you remove eyes and attention from it. It's the same strategy that Israel used with Gaza. Gaza began to sort of fade into the background when they then hit Lebanon, then when they went into the Golan Heights, then when they hit Iran. And, the Israelis would do more egregious kind of, things to the Palestinians when there were huge kind of public events like the Super Bowl and things like that. Always looking for distraction, always looking for a news flow that will eclipse the horror story that is going on somewhere else. And as Simon Marks says there, they've got a real problem. That, Kristi Noem, or the crusty Noem, has said she was just following orders. Oh God, that reminds me of Nazi Germany. Just following orders wasn't a defense in the final analysis. She was following Stephen Miller's orders. Stephen Miller was following his orders. Greg Bovino was saying exactly the same thing as Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller. So there was clearly a script that was sent out around the shooting of Alex Pretty. And, and so what do we do? What did they do? What does Trump do in these instances? Greenland blew up in his face because it involved white people and non-Arabs, and everyone in the world suddenly found their voice and could actually sort of fight back and push back. But no, I know what we do. It's the tried and tested, let's go and attack another country in the Middle East, because we've done it for decades and decades and decades, that when shit's hitting the fan in our own society, in our own situation, let's go and mess up the lives of people of color, of Arab, Persian, Middle Eastern descent, and let's just do that. That's what's happening here. That is what's happening here. And all the while in the background, the Epstein files are held back. Trump's name is mentioned 13,000 times in the Epstein files, according to those who've seen the files and those who know the files. But still, they're being kept hidden. This is all smoke and mirrors. Every single decision Trump makes, every single global move he makes, is to eclipse, cover up, distract, flood the zone, move all of the mainstream media towards something else. The genocide is continuing in Gaza. They're still killing people in Gaza. They're still restricting aid in Gaza, but they're also now the genocide has moved into the administrative section of the genocide, which is removing the evidence of the crime, laying the foundations for building a Riviera, and they used to mow the lawn, the Israelis in Gaza, and now they're going to, lay a lawn, a complete fucking, artificial lawn. They're going to put an artificial lawn across all of Gaza, metaphorically. There are officially no more hostages in captivity in Gaza, apart from the 2 million people who actually live there. Just reminding ourselves that the situation in Gaza hasn't gone away. Asal Rad, independent journalist, they want to force Palestinians into an Israeli-controlled surveillance city. They're trying so hard not to say concentration camp. The plan is that Israel creates a city, a prison camp in Rafah, that is under full Israeli military control, where inhabitants would be monitored at all times. Okay? It's not stopped. Israel intends to cut Gaza aid trucks from 600 to 200 under the Trump plan, as reported by the Jerusalem Post. As ever, don't forget, you don't have to dig around for the news. They tell us. They tell us proudly. They tell us with confidence. They tell us with a pumped out chest and a sense of righteousness. Absolutely appalling. As Iran, threat of US-Iran war escalates as Trump warns time running out for deal. What kind of a deal? What deal does he want? We have no way of verifying the legitimacy of reports like this in The Guardian. Iran accused of campaign of revenge as doctors arrested for treating protesters. The reason we don't know how much we can trust, that's not to say it's not happening, but given everything, it's amazing how short-term our memory is. Given that we've all witnessed and experienced how jaundiced and propagandized content and news stories can be coming out of Israel about Gaza and how every legitimate target is Hamas. Isn't it amazing how even outlets like The Guardian and The Independent and the BBC, well, the BBC has always just reprinted Israeli press releases, but isn't it amazing how we just freely take these reports by some humanitarian organizations that are kind of American-based with a vested interest versus actually bona fide, we'll listen to these humanitarian agencies because it suits our narrative, but we won't listen to any humanitarian agencies and won't even allow them in to Gaza. So the Western media has created an opaque picture of the situation in Iran. And as I stress again, this isn't to say that the Iranians aren't undergoing duress, aren't struggling with their regime, aren't struggling with their system, but there are also lots of Iranians who don't want the regime they've got in at the moment and also don't want Israel and America to take control of the narrative. That's not a complicated thought. So forgive me for never trusting these stories, given what we've come out of and the manipulation and the manufactured consent we've all gone through. It's not diminishing, it's not demeaning, and it's not lessening the plight of anyone caught up in any violence who's being punished or executed at all in Iran. And we know that their human rights are appalling. But I will draw all of your attention back to, does anyone remember how we've all sort of got such amnesia about things like Abu Ghraib? Do you remember the prison? Do you remember the images of American soldiers torturing Iraqis on leashes in dungeons? Do you remember that? That's America. But we only characterize the Iranians as the monsters. So this is all, it's very hard to be able to, and even for those of us who can smell a rat, it's so opaque. It's hard to get in there and go, well, that's legitimate. That's not legitimate. That is true. That's not true. But it is all definitely part of a broader picture to legitimize our involvement, the UK's involvement, and the West's decision to hit Iran. And once again, the Iranian question and the Gaza genocide are two consequences of, guess what? White men who couldn't keep their fucking genitals in their pants and had a predilection for children. That's what this is about. This is all a distraction from a grooming gang that Reform and their like suggest they really want to do something about grooming gangs, but only the grooming gangs that are conducted by people of color. Because as we're seeing in every single fucking news story, Anyone of Arab or Muslim descent is evil and wrong. Everyone who's white is legitimate and right. We've never been at a more obvious, palpably obvious white supremacist colonialist point in recent years. It's so spectacularly obvious. And then we have the likes of this woman, Shabana Mahmood, who says, oh, the UK police are going to use AI facial recognition. But guess what? The tech is linked to the same tech that they used in Israel's war on Gaza. Al Jazeera reporting the UK's controversial rollout of facial recognition will rely on the same software that appears to have already been deployed in Gaza, where it was used by the Israeli army to track, trace, and abduct thousands of Palestinians passing through checkpoints. Our proud reform light Home Secretary, though she's reform full fat, really, Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood announced on Monday that British police would massively increase the use of facial recognition technology used for surveillance purposes. The same woman who also announced she's going to create a British FBI. She had no issue introducing the concept of a federal organization in the same fortnight that 2 people have been killed by federal agents in America. This woman is single-handedly one of the most direct threats to civil liberties in this country, our Home Secretary. And she has been put there with the spurious idea of the Labour Party, it's a Freudian slip, just like the Conservatives do, where they put someone of colour in a position to introduce the most egregious fascistic decisions, so that they think they can say, well, it's not racist. How can you say she's being racist? She's Muslim. How can you say she's being racist? Absolutely fucking diabolical. Shabana Mahmood. Just getting rid of these. Just getting rid of some of the stories that I've got on my timeline here. What do you think, guys? Does the palpable hypocrisy not get under your skin? And this takes me towards the TikTok story, because on the one hand, just everyone get off fucking TikTok. It's totally compromised from the very top. There's a strong argument that all social media platforms, I mean, including Instagram, is disallowing the publication of ICE agents' lists. I find it problematic with anyone having their lists of names and anything kind of shared, because what can happen to someone else can happen to you. So on that one, I'm a bit more querulous. But here's my issue. It's not an issue with Upscrolled. Everyone sign up to Upscrolled. Everyone become part of it. You will not be censored, nor will you be prevented from uploading your content. But here's my slight issue with only going to Upscrolled. There is a danger of preaching to the choir. There's a danger of only being able to operate in something of an echo chamber, because most people on Upscroll are going to share your frustrations, your feelings, your shared sense of disempowerment and frustration and resistance and what have you. And in a weird way, what we all need to be able to do is drag more people from the center, those who've got their fingers in their ears and their hands over their eyes and their heads in the sand. And I do think that when other social media platforms aren't now as controlled as TikTok clearly is, it's more important to also be on those other mainstream platforms, because you need to get more of them over to this side of thinking. And the danger if you just sit on Upscrolled. So I think Upscrolled is a great app that needs to sit alongside any activist or anyone who's wanting to discuss and talk about what's going on in Gaza and Iran and global politics. I think it's really important that you have Upscrolled, but it sits alongside a portfolio, if you like, of other social media apps, of which I am telling you now, TikTok must not be one of them. TikTok is entirely compromised. I mean, if it's TikTok, I know they're saying it's TikTok US, but that will filter out to most of the content around the world. You won't get shadow banned on it, Musical Chimp. But who are you talking to when you're not getting shadow banned on it? You're not talking to anyone who doesn't agree with you. And that's good. That's fine. But it's about sometimes trying to find a cleverer way around because let's talk about mainstream social media. If you just turn your back on all the mainstream social media, we are literally going to be singing into a sort of an elevator full of us. it's about sharing. It's about feeling a sense of safety and belonging, which I think is what makes Upscrolled a brilliant creation. But I also think it's about being able to try and spread the word. So, you know, for example, even on Nadia's and mine Instagram, it's why there will be lighter hearted, the more normal kind of Instagram stuff, because people like to just be entertained. And in the entertainment, people will watch the entertainment and they'll be like, oh, that's silly. And then of course they realize you also have a strong opinion on the situation in Gaza. And it might be that someone who hasn't thought about it, but they think, oh, I quite like them because they're quite funny, goes, oh, right, I hadn't thought of that. Unfortunately, that person who's watched that stupid meme who goes, oh, I hadn't thought of that. I didn't realize they were that politically motivated. They're not going to be on Upscrolled. So again, I think it's brilliant. And I think it needs to sit alongside. It's like is it Blue Sky? What was the other butterfly one? It's the one with the butterfly thingy. That's good too. But in news in America, big news in America is TikTok is blocking the word Epstein being mentioned, and it's blocking any anti-Trump videos, users claim. TikTok US pushes back on claims it is censoring content. Lots of people find it. TikTok has denied claims that its new US operations are heavily controlling what users post after thousands reported glitches with the video streaming platform. Where Upscrolled is really important is for someone like this, Palestinian journalist Bisan Auda, with 1.4 million followers, reports being banned on TikTok. You know, anyone who literally gets banned, of course, you need an outlet. It's a fantastic outlet. But sometimes I think there's a danger of thinking it's a huge badge of honor to have kind of just decimated one's presence on a more mainstream social media platform. Then that defeats the purpose of reaching people. We need to connect. We need to reach people who wouldn't necessarily be on the same page as us. One needs to highlight and illuminate and educate and reveal. And the danger is if you only do that on a platform where you're all in agreement, is that, as I say, you're all talking to each other and you're all agreeing with each other. But with TikTok, it's very different because they have literally had the entire upper echelons of the platform infiltrated. And let me share with you the level of infiltration. Well, no, to go to Danny fucking Price's account, he does a breakdown of the number of people who have been employed by TikTok US, who have been employed and used to work for or used to be part of an intelligence unit that's part of the Israeli intelligence services. There's something like 8 members, very high members of the TikTok US board, or in very senior positions around content, who used to belong to something. Is it like Project 8200 or 8200? There's an intelligence agency group or unit that's recognized. Netanyahu said it is imperative TikTok is owned by Larry the Zionist. Absolutely, there you go. Larry Ellison, he completely owns it. And so, you know, this is happening now. This is happening now. You know, TikTok is banning. They're trying to pretend that it was a glitch, but anything that mentions Epstein, anything that's critical of Trump, and it gets pulled off. It's bad. It's really bad. Okay, final topic. Melania Trump's documentary. Oh, what a shit show this is. Here's a poster for it. Comes out tomorrow, exclusively in theaters. The Canary UK, please follow them. Fabulous Instagram account. I'm laughing so loud they've reposted a comment by Glenn Tunes. I scared my dog and I almost pissed my pants. They've spent over $35 million on marketing the Melania Trump movie in England, and it's only resulted in 1 ticket being sold. 1 ticket. Now, I think it's virtually unheard of any theatrically released film declaring, or cinemas declaring, that the ticket sales are in the single-digit figures, which basically means under 10. This film looks like it's an absolute fucking turkey coming out of the gates. It looks like it's finished. And of course, lots of jokes are knocking about this. I've got a selection here. I'm completely addicted to checking the AMC app, Cinema in America, cinema chain, to see how many people have purchased tickets for Melania. At most, there are like 3 tickets sold per showing. I love to see it. Someone else says, we got to go through that whole Nobel Prize shit again when Melania doesn't get nominated for an Oscar. Someone else said, I just called the police. Somebody broke into my car, didn't steal anything, and left 4 tickets for the Melania movie. This is a hate crime. Someone else, I think it's fun that the Melania movie poster tagline is just a new film, like it's a Broadway musical. I would rather eat week-old, unrefrigerated gas station sushi washed down with warm, flat Mountain Dew before I watch the Melania movie. Is anyone here gonna, out of a duty to filmmaking, gonna go and watch this film? I don't think I can. Why aren't MAGA coming out for this movie? Yeah, I mean, even they know it's a bad story. It's about it's a documentary. It's about her. Thank you so much, Steve. When are you reviewing it? Oh, fuck me. I don't know if I can put myself through the 90 minutes of watching it. This is the type of piracy, Reese Roberts says, a non-purchasing ticket I get behind. Russ out, I'm washing my hair. What's the line she says in the trailer? Let's go. It felt very Arnold Schwarzenegger, didn't it? I'll be back. Let us go. Let it start, or something. It tried to be kind of empowering and propulsive, but it wasn't. It was just repulsive. Anyway, guys, there you go. That's your lot. Lots of love. Something will be landing on the channel later. And we will see you soon. Keep your comments coming in. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, everything else. Go and listen to some podcast if you want to go and do the washing whilst listening. But thank you so much.